So in the park you're looking over at, that's Altab Alley Park. So the name, well, it was called something different, but sorry, this road here is Whitechapel Road, but that park there, so a young Asian lad in his mid-20s was stabbed in a racially motivated attack by three men who all received life sentences in 1978. So as a gesture of goodwill, the park was named after the young kid who lost his life. So, and here is Jack the Chipper. So that's just on Osborne Street, which is down there, leads onto Brick Lane. Halfway down that road was where the first Whitechapel murder happened in April 1888. Emma Smith. There was 11 in total, not just the 5 canonical victims. So I'll just walk along Whitechapel Road, and there's a few little things on here. It's Aldgate Station. There's a couple of Aldgate stations. So I'm going to show you an alley. Today it's called Gunthorpe Street, and it's just like literally walking back in time of 1888. So before we get to the alley, so this alley, there's a little story in this. It's called Piss Alley. Wonder why. But anyway, the murder of Martha Tabram, where we're going to in the alley in a minute. So she had a friend that night called Pearly Poll. So that was where Pearly Poll came to entertain a client, whilst Martha Tabram took her client to George's yard. So anyone who followed the case will know that, say that the White Hart pub, so that was the downstairs in that pub in the basement today, but back in 1988 it was George Chapman's barber. Now George Chapman was one of the favourite suspects for Inspector Frederick Aberline. He seemed to think he could have been Jack the Ripper. Chapman later on would go on to kill a couple of his wives by poisoning them. But yeah, so Gunthorpe Street, this here is magnificent. It's almost just like literally walking back in time. And another thing, see these cobbles here? I mean, this alley doesn't smell much better than Piss Alley. But see these cobblestones? These are the exact same stones that were there in 1888. So it's got such an atmospheric feeling, this place. And of course, that pub, still very much kind of, you know, if you go, I know a lot of the pubs these days try to forget the past, but that's one of them that you can go in. And you know, I went in yesterday and spoke to Richard Cobb, who's a ripperologist. So where Martha Tabram was murdered was just the big block of flats to your left, which you can see. So that was the second murder. It doesn't really get classed as a Ripper victim. I think there's a great chance it could have been. So she was stabbed 39 times, and it was actually her 39th birthday. But yeah, this is Gunthorpe Alley, and this is just, you know, it's like, I think one of the most, I mean, along with that and Artillery Lane, Artillery Passage, these are the streets that they're really, it's like walking back into time in 1888. Gunthorpe Street, just off Whitechapel Road.